Hello YouTube, this is a video response to remarks made by Sister Sunshine in her latest video, Devil in the Dorm. Remarks which I find particularly disturbing. Let's have a listen.
I have a daughter in college. She's a junior, going to be a senior here in another 2 months at her university. And, I really tried to talk her out of going to secular school. I, for one, am actually really firmly against sending Christian kids to any kind of secular college. But of course, once they're adults, they have a mind of their own, and if they choose to go to secular school, there's not much the Christian parent can do at that point.
One reason why I find these remarks particularly disturbing is it seems that they're characteristic of evangelical Christian families who I have known in the past. It's advocating almost a sense of religious xenophobia, and that it's necessary to avoid interaction with people who are not of your particular religious group as much as possible, regardless of there being any possible deleterious effects on your child's education. It's not the quality of the education that matters, but that the proper religious dogmas are being indoctrinated firmly enough.
Anything else, it falls far, far, far behind the knowledge and fear of the Lord. Our job as parents is to raise our kids up to know the Lord. That's the most important thing. Anything else in this world pales in comparison. Our job as parents, first and foremost, is to raise our kids to know the Lord, to love the Lord, to fear the Lord, and to walk in His ways. Because ultimately, that's the only reason that we're here. Anything else, a career, their grades in secular school, in secular subjects, what else they're going to do in life, really doesn't matter. If they're not saved, if they don't know the Lord, if they're not living for God, what else matters? Nothing at all.
This is where the title I chose for this video comes into play. It seems to me that this way of thinking can very easily lead to parents not thinking that it's their responsibility to best instruct their children on how to become functioning adults in the real world and be able to interact socially in all various spheres of life with other people who may not necessarily agree with them on ideological, political, religious issues, whatever. See, the goal here is to keep them continually exposed to an environment which is as homogeneous as impossible. This is going to lead to your children being entirely unable to function when they are inevitably going to be in an environment which is unlike the artificial one which you've created. I also see a whole bunch of, I think, undeserved spiritual pressure being placed on the parents by certain selected scriptures which have been quoted here. Seeing that a child's later possible departing from their previous religious beliefs being some kind of moral failure of the parents for which they're going to be held responsible. I think that places a whole bunch of guilt upon the parents, which doesn't need to be there, and places a whole bunch of pressure on them to perform in incorrectly placed priorities. See, the priority here is just to make sure that that their kid knows all the right religious things, not that they're going to be able balance a checkbook or know how to keep appointments.
The Word of God needs to be read and taught constantly. Everything, we should talk about God all day long, every chance we get. And the Word of God needs to be talked about all the time at home. We need to be reading the Bible to our kids from as soon as they're old enough to hear it.
Are you worried that the effect's going to run off if you don't keep the constant supply of Jesus juice flowing? And by the way, keep out any ideas or thoughts which may cause the children to question the dogma which is being continually fed into their minds.